Warm and loving greetings to all our people. May today be a pleasant and blessed day for all of us. Today, let us reflect upon the couplet that has come down to us through oral tradition as conveyed by Valluvor and later shared by Thirukkural Anagar Permalaya, which Valluvor used in his teachings as a concise expression of the ideas presented in the chapter Assertion of Virtue, found in the Virtue section of the Thirukkural. The Sanmark services of Thirukkural Anagar Permalaya stands as a remarkable and noble contribution, one that followers of the Sanmarg path should always remember and honor. When sectarian religious rituals unjustly encroached upon the activities of the Satyagnana Sabha in Valluvor, he was foremost among those who, tirelessly and for many years, sought justice through the courts. His efforts ensured the removal of these improper practices and the restoration of the Sabha's functions according to the pure Sanmarg principles exemplified by Valluvor. This legacy is well known and deeply appreciated by all. If he persists in seeking recourse through the courts and refuses to abandon that righteous struggle, his body and property will suffer harm. Even when confronted with numerous threats of this nature from various quarters, he remained undeterred. Sustained by the Lord's grace, he resolutely carried forward the noble cause he had embraced, never forsaking it, and in the end secured a just and rightful victory. In this, he stands as a true Sanmarg exemplar. To many, including myself, he was a great sage who, from our very young age, enabled us to understand the Sanmarg path with great clarity. For more than a century, he devoted himself wholly and tirelessly to Sanmarg service. Blessed with extraordinary physical endurance in his mortal frame, he founded the Valluvur's Way of Hospital, a benevolent institution through which he alleviated the physical sufferings and mental afflictions of innumerable people. It is both my privilege and solemn duty to remember and honor him in this gathering. Indeed, such remembrance is most fitting and just. Now, let us reflect on the meaning of this profound couplet. Arat tenbadu yella uirkum sevyan, neri terindu. A thoughtful question arises. Did this couplet, which so beautifully emphasizes virtue, emerge spontaneously from the cherished wisdom of Valluvor, or did he quote it from an earlier Tamil source? Those who are well versed in classical Tamil literature are warmly invited to share their insights on this matter. Now, let us look at the literal meaning of the words. 1. Arat tenbadu, meaning that which is called virtue. 2. Yella uirkum, to all living beings, extending beyond humanity to include every form of life. 3. Sevyan, just, upright, or fair. 4. Neri terindu, knowing the right path or understanding the proper way. 5. Naduvu, to act impartially, to remain balanced, or to conduct oneself without bias. Comprehensive commentary. Virtue is the careful discernment and clear understanding of the righteous path, the true way of living, and, in accordance with that understanding, acting not only toward fellow human beings, but toward all living beings without discrimination, guided by compassion and impartiality. More than 2,000 years ago, with the noble vision of enabling humanity to flourish in dignity and harmony, Thiruvalluvar articulated this profound definition of Aram and firmly insisted that it must be consciously practiced in everyday life. Over time, however, this universal moral path, a code of virtue meant for all living beings, became obscured by selfishness. As virtue faded from collective practice, humanity fell into divisions and endured suffering. To restore this lost ethical clarity and uplift humankind once again, the ancient and natural path of righteousness proclaimed by Thiruvalluvar was reintroduced to the world as Sutta Sanmargam, the pure and true path, by Valluvor. This harsh world does not even seem interested in the principles graciously taught by Valluvor. Even those who call themselves followers of the Sanmarga, organizing assemblies or maintaining temples, are daily engaged in conflicts fueled by selfishness, divisions based on caste, religion, ethnicity, politics, and economics. Illusion cunningly allows these actors to continue unchallenged. Such so-called Sanmargis, instead of studying the sacred teachings of Thiruvalluvar, find themselves trapped in endless street conflicts every day. In the Sutta Sanmargam, emphasized by Valluvor, the four disciplines, physical, mental, spiritual, soul disciplines, must be carefully nurtured. We must recognize that these correspond to the singular Aram described by Thiruvalluvar in the Thirukkural. This virtue embodies two inseparable aspects, justice and compassion, righteousness and mercy, or impartiality and goodness, which together serve as the twin eyes guiding proper conduct. Without these two guiding eyes, without the knowledge of virtue, I have lived until today like a blind thief. The world today, overrun by thieves of many kinds, suffers daily under countless political, economic, and social injustices. Both my village and this world, my relatives and friends alike, knew all too well how to sow and nurture within me the seeds of caste, religious, and racial hatred, yet not how to teach virtue. They bore no deceit in their hearts, innocent, poor souls. How could they teach me what they themselves had never come to understand as virtue? Aram, virtue, is not an empty word. It is our unparalleled way of life. It is our duty, a truth I now recognize in my present state. And so, at this very moment, a deep longing rises within me, that the path of virtue may be firmly established and practiced rightly every single day. A simple example. We refrain from taking bribes not merely out of respect for the law, but because such actions should not harm anyone or any living being in the world. That is the essence of virtue. This is why the first and most important line of the Attisudi, graciously composed by Valluvor, is Aram Saya Virumba, desire to do virtue. It teaches that we must always be eager to perform our duties with impartiality and kindness. This timeless moral maxim encourages the cultivation of righteousness from early childhood. Virtue is the very hallmark of human life. A world without virtue would be a jungle inhabited by cruel beasts. When virtue declines, spiritual love and human compassion fade as well, and the world itself edges closer to ruin. True virtue, therefore, lies in acting with fairness and compassion toward all living beings, including even those who oppose us. This is the impartial, upright virtue. Sarbatra Sevviyan Aram. Celebrated in the Thirukkural, therefore, let us carefully discern what is right and what is wrong, and strive with courage to act accordingly. Though fairness tempered with compassion and integrity may at times be difficult to uphold, it is the one who lives and acts with such upright virtue who is truly great. அப்படி செவ்வியான் அறமுடு செயல்படும் மனிதரே உண்மையான பெரியாராவார். A society rooted in virtue is a society that advances and flourishes. May this noble path of virtue and compassion stand firm and shine forth in excellence. Let us meet again tomorrow to explore the meaning of another couplet. Many thanks and warm regards. May you live long, prosperous, and in well-being. Your compassionately, Ungal Anban Durai Sattanan.